Hey everyone, welcome back to Chicken Cindy's, and I think I got a full bike. Besides the frame. Let's talk about it. So, if any of you guys have been following my parts build for my Ragley, this will be part 2 technically. I have everything entirely done now, besides the frame itself. Today is August 1st, and from my understanding, the frames are supposed to be in the 7th and then shipped to the States. And then from there, I'll get mine sent to me. So I should probably be expecting the frame middle of August to the end of August. So some of these parts might change. Some of them might not. So let's break down the parts here in a second, and I'll go through details on why I chose what and price like I did in the first build. So let's do it. All right, so I know there's quite a few parts to get through, so I'll try to sum them up as quick as I can. So we went over this last time. Fun fact over this one, so whenever we switched the actual air shaft spring out, it made it 150 instead of 140 like it was supposed to. We don't know why it did that, so I guess the Ragley's gonna have a 150 on it instead, and I'm okay with that. That might be kind of fun. So it recommends a 140, but I figured we would just do that, so because that's what happened. So if you've been watching my other builds, I did the 54 tooth conversion on this, so that's really cool. And then you saw me also probably install the Ardents. I'm running a front and back Ardent, the exact same. I've never done that before, but I really just kind of wanted something that's going to be a little bit faster rolling, more cross-country-ish, so that's why I did that, and I'm either going to like it or I won't, right? So, don't want to spend too much time on the stuff that you've already seen, so we'll just try to get some of that stuff out of the way. I know you guys have seen the cranks. The cranks were from the first build, or the first build video, if you guys saw that, from the slow build part 1. So, this is pretty much the stuff that we've not talked about yet. So, I am doing the same kind of setup. So it's the where you have to tap the steerer tube, which I've already done. So once I get the actual, so the way that works is that screws in, and that works as the top cap. And then you can put the multi-tool for the EDC stuff in there, which I'm sure most of you know about that. So, but what's really cool about this is the blue one. I splurged on 2 parts roughly on this build. And one was, I went with the Chris King headset. I really wanted a turquoise or a teal headset, and I really couldn't find any in the cheaper ones. This thing was about $200 if I remember right. That's way too much money for a headset, in my opinion, so don't do that. But look at that. It is awfully, awfully pretty. But what's cool about that is it matches that about perfect. I was really worried that this wasn't going to match with that, and I was going to have to send this little kit back in, which comes with the stopper and everything for the bottom of the fork. I thought I was going to have to send that back to get an all black one, but that matches perfectly. So this was definitely a splurge on this build, but I'd never bought something Chris King, and I was kind of curious just what the quality would be like, so I'm excited to install that and see what it's all about. So that's one. Put those to the side. Oh, this is $25. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this was like around $200. It might have been like $150 to $200. I don't remember for sure. I bought it a while ago. But I will find the receipts, and we'll have to total all that up because I still want to do exactly what I said I did, which was see what I can or can't build and how much. So the rear cassette on this build, so I'll show you that. So it's a GX cassette, okay? This is kind of cheating a little bit on this build to save some money. I'll have a GX shifter. I don't know if you got close enough to that, but the GX shifter is actually a GX rear derailleur and a chain, which is in here as well. All that stuff came off of my Canyon Stride, so I technically didn't pay for that, but What I'll probably do is find a price, like a used price for an SX NX 12 by and throw it in there for that. Because the GX is pretty good stuff, but the price will vary on used and not used. But since mine came with my Stride, I technically didn't pay for it. So it was just extra parts that I had laying around. Say hi, Zoe. This is my dog, Zoe. She likes to chill sometimes. Hey, baby girl. You go lay down? You gonna lay down right here? Oh, goodness. She can join, right? So, dub bottom bracket to go with the cranks, the descendant cranks that I picked up. Trying to find this for a good price or cheaper than what they sell for right now, which I think is like $35. I'll have to double check that too. Is hard. And a lot of the discount codes, like 10 and 20% offs, they don't work for these for some reason. So I paid full price for this. So there's that. I got splurged a little on this one too. I did use a 15% off coupon though. But if you guys have never used the Loam levers, man, I want the black and turquoise color. So, black and turquoise. Man, I'm really liking the look of what this build I think is going to look like. Until I get the frame, I won't know for sure. So it'd be really nice to get that frame so we could actually get this done. But, like I said, it's a slow build. So I've just been getting the parts little by little. So, stole handlebars and the stem off of my Canyon. So these are actually, I think they're called G5s. Yeah, so they're G5s. And the handlebars are 780. I believe the stem's 50. I think the stem's 50 millimeters. I'm not sure. So on some of the prices, I'm cutting corners because I've replaced all my extra parts or all the parts on my Stride whenever I had that with the nice things that are now on my nuke proof because if you guys don't know, my Stride got destroyed on the interstate, but there's a video about that too. So I took those off my Canyon. So it's one of those things where like, I don't really know how to include the price. So between bargains that I found and extra parts that I had, it's kind of a toss-up. Same thing here. Turquoise colored Chesters. I had these on my Strive originally, and then I switched to the purple and the oil slick. So I've just had an extra pair of Chesters lying around. I paid about $40 for these. A lot of times you get them brand new for $50, but if you look around, you'll find deals on them, so you can save a little bit of money there. I bought this for $10, which is a shim that goes between this and this. So this is actually not going to fit because it's a 30.9, but it is a 150 millimeter dropper post. And this is what came on my Canyon. So the actual diameter is 31.6. So instead of having to buy a whole new dropper post, I found this shim for $10 that'll go around this to make this a 31.6. So my dropper from my Canyon will work on the Ragley. So me cutting corners again and trying to make stuff work, but I figured $10 is a lot better than roughly what, $200 for a new dropper post. So, and this is the SDG seat that came on my Canyon as well. So as you can see, a lot of these extra parts or the later parts are actually parts from my Stride that were on it originally that I upgraded to different things. So seat post collar for it, the brake post adapters for it. So now I don't recommend skimping on brakes. These were brand new SLXs. I ended up putting these SLXs actually on my nuke proof, and I ended up breaking one of my calipers on my XTs. So I have a brand new caliper right here, and I'm going to be putting these XTs now on the Ragley. So as you can see, these are actually my XT brakes that were they were actually on my nuke proof, but I took them off the nuke proof. I'm going to be using them on the Ragley build. So I paid for the SLXs, which is what I'd go off of because the SLXs were what I actually bought for this build, was for the Ragley build, which I bought these SLXs, but I paid right at 120 a piece. I believe I got them off Backcountry with like 20% off coupons. I ordered one under my name and one under my wife's name, so I was kind of sneaky. But that way I was able to get discounts on both of them to save some money. But I love Shimano brakes. I've bled SRAM brakes a couple times, and just for me personally, Shimano brake bleeding is just way, way easier. So I try to run Shimano brakes anytime I can. So that's what that is. That's what that is. So now everything's thrown in a pile over here. But there's one more thing. This is my extra goodies box. So all this stuff are extra cables, shifter cables, things like that, extra lengths of hoses. And I have a lot more than this in the shed, but everything that's in this box should be all I need for the build. So what I'm really hoping is, I have everything that I'll need for the build now. So once I get my frame, I don't know if I'm gonna do a time lapse or if I'm gonna do just like a real cool, fun, more cinematic video. So maybe let me know down in the comments. So, because part 3 will be the Ragley build, me actually building the bike up. And do you think I should just do music with just the bike being built? Or do you think I should do me actually talking through everything I'm doing as I build a bike? Because I've never built a bike from the frame up. I've taken apart bikes all the way down to the frame, but I've never actually built one brand new. So I'm excited to do it. But what do you think about that headset? Honestly, I think it was a really dumb idea to do that, but I'm really excited to put it on. It looks pretty freaking sweet. And I can't even use the top part, which is really a shame because I have that instead. That's all right. And then what do you think about this? Since the fork ended up being 150 millimeters instead of the 140 like it was supposed to be. I've been debating on putting this fork on my actual nuke proof and putting the nuke proof on this build instead. But I don't think 150 is going to hurt the Ragley at all. But I wouldn't mind having a 150 on my full suspension instead of the Ragley. So different options. So next video, like I said, will be of the build. Thanks for watching, guys. And any questions, put down in the comments. Take care.